Startup Booster is here, and I would like to introduce to you an exciting project that this nice lady is overtaking, and I think it's a challenging one, and it's a good one, and I would highly recommend you to listen to this story. And first of all, I would like Rania to introduce herself. Can you tell us
Uh,
about you?
Thank you. Hi, Daria. I'm Rania Alaa. I'm 36 from Cairo, Egypt. And thank you for hosting me on your website.
Good. So, can you tell us a little bit more about your book? What kind of book is that, and how did you come up with this idea?
My book is a novel, or rather a novella, like a short sized novel. It's called Burning Cigarettes. It's about the pursuit of freedom. And I came up with the idea years ago, but it's just like it was the right time now to write about it when I felt like everything was crystallizing. I started thinking about this book during my work with refugees and asylum seekers for like 6 or 7 years in a row, when I heard so many stories on the record and off the record as a human rights activist and um, a refugee worker, basically. And I felt that there are so many stories that are untold, and that so many people speak about refugees in the third person. And I felt that somebody has to speak about them with their own voices, to express their own problems, their own agonies, suffering, and struggles to achieve the very basic rights of life and freedom and safety, happiness, love, the things that are so basic for so many countries in the world. They are such a privilege and such precious gifts that they can't get a hold of in other countries of the world.
Oh, that sounds like a very interesting and great idea for the book, and especially if you are taking over the voice of so many people. So that definitely would be a highly recommendable bestseller book. And what is your goal for the book in general? So why you're writing the book?
I'm writing this book because I want to speak about refugees, as I told you, and asylum seekers, their problems, their suffering, but also I wanted to speak about them from the viewpoint of a woman, somebody who's always the underprivileged, somebody who's always the more the one who suffers more. Like, for instance, if a family undergoes a certain struggle whether in a refugee crisis situation or otherwise, usually the woman is the one who pays the dearest price. She's the one who gets in war zones, for instance. She's the one who gets raped. She's the one who takes care of the children. She's the one uh, who suffers physically. She's the weaker person always, and that breaks my heart. And there's so many stories I heard. I felt that women have, in these very difficult circumstances, have to have someone expressing their voices and expressing their problems, and somebody has to start writing about bold issues such as religious bigotry and racism in so many countries, things that are only written about in academic research papers that only academia read, but not the common people and other people.
Yeah, thumbs up for you. That's really a brilliant idea. And another question is like, what is the book about? What is the main story behind the title?
The story is about a woman who fell in love with a man from a different belief system, and she thought that it's not going to be as complicated as it actually started to show. Society launched a war against her and against the couple, and they had to take very radical decisions to be free, to be together, and to be safe. And that actually broke my heart. It actually stems from so many stories that I've heard, and I felt like, why can't just people fall in love when, this is love? I mean, like, why does society have to choose for me who I fall in love with? Why does society have to choose anything for me? Already people are born they don't choose their names, their countries, their religions, their skin color, their height, a lot of things we don't get to choose. We choose other things, but there are basic things that we're stuck with. We don't get to choose. So for society to actually feel that they have the upper hand, that they can actually tell people what to do, what not to do, and what to feel and what not to feel, that actually is something that always that has always irritated me. And so that's why the book will. It looks like it's a love story. It has a lot of love in it. It's a love story, of course, but it has so many eye-opening incidents about how society is judging and directing and pointing fingers and being the father figure. And I think the book will be very interesting and more like in time I will write an excerpt about it, a longer one. I'll publish it in a newspaper soon, so that people can actually get to see more about the plot.
So is it a real story behind, or several real stories behind it?
Yeah, it has lots of reality in it. It's not a fantasy, as in like a fairy tale. It's based on real things that happened around me through my work and through my circles and networks. But of course, it's not a real story, as in like it's not somebody specific with another somebody specific. It's just a story of two people. I have seen so many people of the like in my life through my work, and the hassle they have to go through just to be together. And I feel like this is so unfair. It's so unfair. Yeah. And the more you know about the details of the simplicity of the things they need, the things they want, and how rigid society is, and societies in general, actually, in fighting these simple needs, you will feel the irritation that I have felt that caused me to write this book, and you will feel that, oh my God, how can the world be so judgmental? How can the world be so unfair to a young couple? They leave terrorists and ugly politicians to run around the world, like destroying the reality that we live in, and they go to loving couples and they launch a war. I mean, this is the priority for societies now. If you, that's the core of the story.
Kind of Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet concept, but kind of in the modern world.
Yeah, it's something like that, actually. It's families, but families in the bigger sense. It's extended families, and it's the societies behind them, the belief systems behind them, the religious institutions, and you feel that there are things that you wouldn't know except if you face yourself. There are things that you would never imagine about the world except when you face yourself, or in my case, because I have been very fortunate / unfortunate to actually be with so many refugees and asylum seekers, women and men, and especially women. And I've seen testimonies for stories my mind, my small, simple mind couldn't digest. I was like, this isn't happening. This is not real. I was in disbelief for so much time, and then I realized that this is the way of the world.
I have a question to you regarding, like, if, for example, some people who are watching us right now and they want to write their own book on something, or they have the idea of the book, what would be your advice? And can you tell us a little bit more about the story on your challenge of writing the book?
Okay, my advice, my very humble advice was that can stem from my own experience, which is I write for myself before I think about who's reading my book, because if I do think about what other people will think, I will never write. And that's why it took me so many years to stand where I am now, because it's easier to write for yourself. Just write and express and tell your story. Storytelling is an amazing thing. I love it. And don't think about other people reading. Don't think about what other people will judge you with. Don't think that, oh my God, they will think that I think about religion this way. Oh, they will think that I think about the revolution in that way. They think that, etc. Don't. Just think about what you want to write. Express it. Tell your story to yourself. You're the best judge. And then after that, when people read, there will always be controversy. Some people will always like your work. Other people will always dislike your work. So it's your own voice. Just express it and don't think much about the consequences.
That's a great advice. Like, it's or like for any project you are undertaking, you just expressing yourself, and it's not like you need to think what other people will judge or think about you. Just you need to be yourself there. Brilliant. So, and I've heard that you're doing the crowdfunding for your book. Can you tell us a little bit more about this point?
I'm doing crowdfunding because it's very important to have an audience base for the book before it's published. If every person donates even $1, just $1, and that's really like much for me. That $1 will give that person ownership of the book. They will feel that they have actually had a hand in bringing this book to the light. And at the same time, it's also important because I cannot, if I publish the book alone, I will do it as an ebook, and it will not be probably very widely seen. But if people fund this book and I have an opportunity to be better published and better distributed, more people will see my book, and my voice will not be muffled behind financial restrictions. So I think crowdfunding is a very important notion for community support and for community support basically of new talents and of young voices that don't have a specific donor and don't have the financial resources that can help them achieve their goals.
Okay, thank you so much. That's a very good point about the crowdfunding. One more question: in which language is your book?
The book is going to be in English, and I prefer to write in English, and regardless of the fact that I'm like extremely tense right now, but English is a language that I write with very fluently and very at ease. I feel very confident when I'm drawing my character and my story in this language, owing to certain education that I have. It's not that I don't like Arabic. I love Arabic, of course, and I'm very good in Arabic, but English is the language that I best express myself with.
Okay, so can you please tell again what is the name of the book, so people will be able to see and try to find it?
Okay, it's called Burning Cigarette, and it's actually on Facebook, the novel Burning Cigarette, and it's also on Pubslush. Pubslush is a crowdfunding path for books basically and authors. It's pubslush.com/project/7162. 7169. When actually people go into that link, I can actually give you the link so you can attach it also. People will see my book, and even if they can't donate the $1, they can at least share it with other people, so that other people know of my book, so that when the book comes out, it would be great for me to see that so many people are interested to read what I have to say.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for your time and your contribution today.
Thank you very much, Daria. It was great having me today, and I'm sure that in the future we'll meet more.
Definitely. Best of luck with your project.
Thank you. Bye.